story of any city can never be complete without the story of its music. Music City, y'all. Welcome.
That's what's up. Yo, my cousin asked that shoe, y'all. That's him.
Yo, 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 what's up? This is your boy Garfield Bright for another segment of Music City. And this time we in Washington, D.C., representing the DMV version. And guess where I'm standing? I'm on my stomping grounds now. Y'all can't mess with me on a day like today. I'm at the Howard Theater. And the juxtaposition of Howard Theater to Howard University is the same way when I was in Philly just the other day when we did Philly Music City. Temple University is right next to the Uptown Theater. So these juxtapositions mean something. Now the Howard Theater was opened, it was constructed in 1910. It started by the National Amusement Company is who actually, constructed this. And then triple the name, the National Amusement Company. There's a lot of implications in that if you're looking at 1910 and you're dealing with entertainment. But let's get past that and go to 1926, where a guy named Abe Lichtman bought the place. And he also owned a few other black theaters up and down the Eastern Seaboard that started qualifying as the Chitlin Circuit. So you look at places like the Royal Peacock in Atlanta, the Real Theater in Baltimore, the Uptown Theater in Philly. You start to see this, this section forming called the Chitlin Circuit. But he bought it in 26. By 29, the Great Depression hits, right? And so, the Great Depression was a hardcore situation in America. I mean, people were really out of houses and jobs and a lot of stuff. So this place kind of like downsped a little bit and turned into a church, for a couple of years. It kind of went back to a low profile. It was a beautiful kind of like architecture during those days. It served as a church for a couple of years. But they had to get back to their natural mission. And so by 1931, Duke Ellington comes into the building and does his thing. And it reemerges as this viable center, And when Duke Ellington came in and reinvigorated the place, it was because they were under this new management, this brother named Shep Allen. And guess what he did? I mean, we talk about the Apollo in New York, this brother opened up an amateur night. But when you talk about the Howard Theater and the talent it produced, whoa, you might know a couple coming out of this amateur night in this spot. A female, she had a pretty nice voice, she liked to scat a little bit. Her name was Ella Fitzgerald. She came out of this place. You might know a brother, fly brother with the eyes, and the ladies loved him, the silky smooth voice, the curly hair, you know what I mean? Back in the day when light skin was really in, you know what I mean? A brother named Billy Eckstein, he got put on through this place right here, right? And this place even carried its value into the 40s. In the 40s, in 1940 actually, another young talent, made her way on the scene and broke a lot of records in terms of money made and all kind of stuff. A female, you might know her, her name is Pearl Bailey. She came out of this spot, you know what I mean? And so in the 1950s and the 1960s, this place was more like rock and roll, R&B venue. With the likes of like the Supremes, Stevie Wonder, James Brown, Lena Horne, Sammy Davis. All of these people were coming out of this spot. And so this spot was popping in the 50s and 60s. And then in the late 60s, of course, 1968, Martin Luther King got assassinated. So the riots that ensued after that was serious in DC. I mean, I talked to Mama from Ben's Chili Bowl and she was talking about how the riots almost kept her from opening up her spot. So in DC, you gotta understand how that was. Talk to Me was a movie with Don Cheadle on it. You can really get a clean view of what was going on through that disc jockey piece. But in 1970, it had to close down. And not just because of the riots, but also because like desegregation was happening. So this was a Chitlin Circuit. So a lot of the black artists didn't have to do the Chitlin Circuit anymore. A lot of white venues became opened up in desegregation. So it wasn't a blacks, whites only type of thing. They were starting to be more opportunity to get paid more and go other places. So, the demise of it in 1970. But in 1975, it reopened, and Melba Moore, Red Fox, they did a performance here, and it was popping again, But in 1980, it finally closed back down. The management, deaded it for a minute. But then in 2012, I want to say, there was a push to reopen it, and finally in 2012, on Community Day, it reopened again, and like people like Wanda Sykes and stuff like that did their thing here. And Howard University Theater is still popping. It's beautiful. It's renovated. I think it was like a $30 million job to renovate this place to make it is what it is today. And it still was under investigation because they trying to say the property taxes weren't paid. So it's still a struggle, but it still holds events. People still come to it. It's steeped in major history. And you know, Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers also rocked during that time when Stevie Wonder and the Supremes was also here getting busy. So this place was it was local. It was DC with Chuck Brown with the Go-Go, but it was also the national piece too. Steeped in a lot of history. A lot of famous icons come out of here, and I'm so glad that they preserved it, because a lot of our places are being torn down, and we don't even recognize them walking around. The shorties and the youth walking around don't even know that that used to be something. So the Howard Theater is definitely something that didn't used to be something. It still is something. All right, and it's right up the street from Howard. So bring your family here if you come to DC and check it out, and see if they got any programming. They got a lot of nice brunches and stuff that come through here, entertainment, and I love it. You know, this is my stomping grounds, Howard University. Peace.
Brother DJ Kool is good. Just let everybody know, during football season, or even when it ain't football season, it's always Mexican season. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Always Mexican season. Yeah.
Yo, what's up? Your boy Garfield Bright, host of Music City, and you know me in the DMV, but specifically we in DC. And I'm telling you right now, you know you can't talk about DC music. And you know the template is, the story of any city is never complete without the story of its music. And when we in DC, we talking about music, we talking about go-go, no doubt. And this brother right here, you already know, he got the Redskins, he represent. That's DJ Kool. Let the people know who you are.
Let me clear my throat. What up, world? Legendary DJ Kool. I am your Washington, D.C. representative worldwide, all right? I'm going to talk about go-go and hip-hop music.
How about them Giants? How about them Giants?
I don't know nothing about the Giants. They're from New York.
How about the Patriots, bro? How about the Patriots, man? I'm from Boston. Whatever. So look, Kool, you know, everybody know the Let Me Clear My Throat, you know, the Dope 45 King sample, and even that, man, because I refer to this man as like the perfect zipper between hip hop and go-go. Like he's some kind of way he positioned himself organically to be that guy. And when I first came to Howard in '87, I was introduced to go-go, but didn't know I already knew go-go, you know, through my youth with Bustin' Loose and all those things that Chuck did. I didn't realize what that was until I got here. Then I heard about this brother, you know, through all the Rare Essence, the EUs, and all the people, Jungle was coming on the scene. But Kool was always that consistent. I used to go to Chapter 3 when I was, you know, first in Howard and stuff like that. And like I was saying, you know, I came in '87, and you know, hip hop was coming up as the new era of this crazy art form that was taking up, like the golden era, R&B. Like I'm in SHAI, and we was that 90s, 80s, 90s, boom. But go-go though, you know what I'm saying, during that time was, but we came to Howard, them young brothers, we was all hip-hopped out. They was go-go'd out. I'm like, what? And so that made me be like, man, they really feeling this. What is this? Well, and that's when you start popping up in people's mouths. I was like, who is this DJ Kool? So please tell me how you was feeling in that moment, what that meant in that moment for you to be on both sides like that. Like,
well, I mean, first and foremost, I'm a DJ, you know what I mean? A DJ born and raised here in Washington, D.C. Yeah. But I'm also a lover of, you know, hip hop music and the culture of hip hop. Yeah. So for me, being born right here in DC and being born in the culture of go-go, but also loving the hip hop culture, I got one foot in the go-go and one foot in hip hop, and so I've always been there. I was always the DJ here that was trying to do whatever I could to break all the go-go music in the clubs. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was one of the first ones to break one of EU's first single called Rock Your Butt. He gave it to me on a 45. Bear gave it to me on a 45. One of the first ones to break one of the Trouble Funk records, E-Flat Boogie.
Wow, I remember that.
You know, go-go is basically just another urban form of music, just like hip-hop is, you know what I'm saying?
Got that funk in it though.
Dirt, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Same way, you know, same thing in hip-hop. 1986 rolled around and the room closed, and I got a call to go to the Classics.
Where is that at?
The Classics was on Allentown Road,
See, I think that's because I came to Howard at '87, and that's where I think. See, by then you was becoming really DJ Kool. Okay.
That was a big Monday night thing that I had at the Classics. My first record was a song called "The Music Ain't Loud Enough." Came out in 1986.
Okay.
Yeah, it came out in 1986, and
Music ain't loud enough.
yeah, I was providing a bunch of samples and everything.
Yeah.
So all I was doing was sampling, which is all I do to this day. You know what I mean? Is sample. But I was blessed enough to be able to come out with a song every year from 1986 all the way up to 1996. I have a song somewhere on the Billboard charts every year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All the way up to 96, which was "Let Me Clear My Throat."
Yeah.
That was really got crazy. So I was the first hip hop artist to come out of this area to go national and then later international. The first one to go gold or platinum as far as hip hop is concerned. You know what I mean? So I was a big fan of Big Tony from Trouble Funk. He had the big voice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Big dude though.
Yeah, when he hit the mic, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But on the hip hop side of things, but on the hip hop side of things, my influence, my first influence to be an MC was Melly Mel.
Word.
Another
Melly Mel.
big voice.
Yeah. Raw. He's raw.
Still doing it to this day. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it was all about the voices. But yeah, we get that. We get that loud thing from the go-go, man. You know what I'm saying? But you can't get up there and be whispering over their percussion. You just can't.
Yeah, ain't gonna work. Ain't nobody gonna believe that.
So yeah, so it just comes out like that. You know what I mean? I don't think this is anything that we're purposely doing. We're just a part of the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why we come out that way.
What was one of your special defining moments? I know you got plenty, and I know "Let Me Clear My Throat," that just takes it all okay. That's like if I ever fall in love or something like that. But what was one of your moments when you looked in the mirror and was like, damn, yo, this shit is real. I'm really like, it's feeling me. Like for real.
I don't know, man. I guess.
Or did you ever even have that moment? Was it just you just playing your gig?
Well, for me, you know, I've never been like so into myself.
Yeah.
You know, so to speak.
Do what you do.
I just kind of keep things moving. But I think, I don't know, I guess it's like any other artist when they first hear their record on the radio, like for the first time. When I first heard "Music Ain't Loud Enough" for the first time.
Who broke your joint?
That was WPGC.
That's who broke our joint.
Thanks to LBD. You know what I'm saying? LBD.
Yeah.
That dude has always been in my corner, man. Shout out
to LBD. I gotta get the same shout out.
Love you. If you ever see this, hey, you already know. Love you, Albie, for real. Yeah, when I first heard "Music Ain't Loud Enough" on the radio, then I heard it one time, then I heard it again. So, you know, it just kind of inspired me to just keep recording and whatnot. So just like I said, I had, next thing you know, I got records all over the place, and all the DJs was looking at me, when your next record coming out? When your next record coming out?
And you were international, so like, how was that when you start DC? You conquered it, but you become Kool, and then how was the, you know, because go-go is such a localized thing in terms of, you know, people here really get it, but you start going international. How was that in terms of them receiving this go-go sound?
It was good. I figured I was doing the right thing, you know what I mean? I've always been the type of artist to make sure that I represent my city first and foremost. That's why every time
this brother riding up the street in a Hummer with Washington Redskin interior, the wheel on the outside, got the Washington. The brother ain't just saying words.
Not playing, you know what I'm saying? Every time you see me, like I rock these national hats, you know what I'm saying? It's normally black with the white joint, but the damn one,
doing all that.
Stealth, you know what I'm saying? So I rock these because I wanted to use this as like a trademark, you know what I mean? So wherever I go, you know what I mean, they know that, look, that boy there, he's from DC, you know what I mean? And I want people to know that. That was one of my whole things as far as making, you know, hip-hop music coming out of DC is concerned. I wanted to show people like, New York, I love you, and I love what you do and all that, but y'all not the only ones that could, you know, say words rhythmically over beats and whatnot. So my whole thing was taking the go-go sound and taking the hip-hop sound and putting it together, kind of like, you know, peanut butter and chocolate, and coming up with that Reese's. You dig what I'm saying? That was my whole thing. Blending these.
You got a magic formula, man. I'm telling you.
Sounds together.
The thing that struck me is a shorty. Like I grew up in Boston, and I remember early on I caught winning like Queen Latifah. and she had this song, The Princess of the Posse is a real cool one. And on the opposite side, it was this thing called Cost of Living. Cost of Living, and it was 45 King who produced that. And later on, I followed that dude because I thought those was funky beats. And he had that. And when I heard you with that, I was like, yo, this dude done did the slick joint. Like, so how'd you come across that particular sample to be your thing?
One night,
that's one of the funkiest beats, man.
I was working at a club in Richmond, Virginia called Ivory's Uptown Lounge.
Okay.
It used to be on Broad Street. I was working there in I did Ivory from 91 to 94. Nope. Something like that. 92 to 94 is what it was. Anyway, I have a routine that I got called the 20-minute workout.
Oh yeah, that's the joint.
I used to do over the Dougie Fresh track that was recorded by Razz. I'm Getting Ready.
Okay.
Right. So I actually started that little routine up here, but I brought it to Richmond.
Gotcha.
Richmond caught on to it, and I was doing it every week. Everybody looking for a 20-minute workout. When you gonna do a 20-minute workout? All right, boom. So, I would always use the 900 number as like a segue out of my go-go set into my hip-hop set. So I would do this 20-minute workout thing to stop that, do a hold up, wait a minute, or something to the crowd, and then drop 900 number, and then start going into my hip-hop set.
Gotcha. That's how you bridged it.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So this particular night, when I drop 900 number, I'm getting ready to say something to the crowd, you know, because I'm always hitting the mic off and on. And some actually got caught in my throat that particular night.
Wait a minute, you ain't telling me that was organic the way that came out?
Let me finish how this whole thing came about. Some got caught in my throat. I said, wow, what am I gonna say to play this off and not look like a damn fool? Let me clear my throat, right? Which was a line from a Beastie Boys record on the Paul Revere.
Yes.
Let me clear my throat. This is the new style.
Let me clear my throat.
All right, so the rest of it, the Mr. Baby, I hope you don't. They ain't nothing but a bunch of what I like to call Chuckisms. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff that Chuck might say.
Some funky sounding,
you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was time to record 20-minute workout. We recorded it live at Ivory.
Okay.
Right? Well, as a matter of fact, let's rewind the tape a little bit. Before we actually did the recording of the 20-minute workout, you know, people would come up because I was working at this club every week. Cool, you gonna clear your throat? You know, you gonna clear your throat? Wow. Like, what are they talking about? Oh, I know what they're talking about. Wow. Whatever. So anyway, now it's time to record. So I said, well, I went ahead and I recorded it live, right? And it's kind of crazy because the way that we did 20-minute workout, you remember the old DA88 machine?
Yeah, oh my God.
All right. We had a stack of those, had a bunch of mics hung up, and I'm just cutting the record back and forth the way that I would normally do, and just, you know, hitting the mic the way I normally do when I'm, you know, doing the song in the club. All right, so I record a little snippet of that clear my throat thing, right? Record comes out, I get a call from a DJ called Don Mystic Mac. Up in Philly. Excuse me, and he was working for Power 99 at the time. He was like, cool, you got these people in Philly going off on this go-go thing. He was talking about the 20-minute workout routine. He said, well, what they really going nuts over is what you be doing over that 900 number beat. And you be coughing, talking about, let me clear my throat and all that. So you need to come up here and check that out. They had a big old show up there called the Powerhouse. They would do every year with all these artists. All right, so man, we come to Powerhouse. DJ Rand was playing the intermission, so he rocked in. He dropped a little clear my throat, what I like to call snippet at the time. 16,000 people at the Core State Center.
What? It was ready, it was primed already.
Wow, and I'm looking around, I'm like, whoa. So then you know when the little light bulb come on up above your head, right? Ding. Let me go home and then make this a song.
That's
all I did, I mean, because I already got the hook, I got the track. Basically, to make it a song, I just wrote a 16-bar verse. We recorded it live at Bahama Bay in Philadelphia, which was a one-take thing. And basically, we just had our recording engineer just record the show.
Right.
And I guess the rest is history, yo.
No, the rest is history.
It's definitely history.
Well, that was a good segue to wrap it up, man, because the rest really is history, man. And DJ Kool, I don't know where I haven't been. Man, I'm over in Germany with SHAI. We performing. This guy is the headliner. We on the show with DJ Kool. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've got much respect for you, man.
Appreciate you.
And just the way he hold DC down. Everybody from wherever city they from need to hold their city down like that. This brother's really about it.
Yes,
and he's a true creator, true legend, and I'm proud and honored to even be with this brother right here because I'm a fan. You know what I mean? And he's got style and charisma, and he's an artist, man. Y'all need to check people like him out, Dougie. You know, there's certain cats who got that thing, man, and this is one of them, man. So.
I got one more quick story about Let Me Clear My Throat. When we actually did the video, when we did the video for it, I told the video director that we wanted to record the footage, well, the audio portion live. He looked at me like I was from Mars or something. I say, look, just press record. We're going to do this. So we did it. Now, I brought Biz and Doug in to do this remix because I figured they were the best MCs for the job, for that particular, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to take it back to the old school, so to speak, and just, you know, show just how we did it back in the day, you know what I'm saying? The way that I brought them in, like the old school lines, you might hear me say something like, all the way live from New York City, Mr. Bismarck, man, I might get busy, you know what I'm saying? That's the way they did it, you know what I'm saying? And so, the funny thing was, I said, Biz, all I need is 8 bars. I'm gonna lead you in, and I'm gonna lead you out. You know how Biz is. Okay, Biz, I need 8 bars. I don't care what you say, all I need is 8. I tell Dougie, all I need is 8. I ain't got to worry about Doug, because me and him is, you know, we like-minded and whatnot. So we did it. The part that you hear Dougie talking about the little Tupac thing, put 2 fingers in the air, that was right off the top. That's because Pac, you know, had just passed. So he's doing this, I'm just, okay, let's just go ahead on the road with that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, a lot of that was very organic, very spontaneous. So, yeah. Now, what, 21 years later, Clear My Throat came out April 1st, 1996. April 1st. I didn't even know they came out on April 1st myself. I seen it on Instagram, somebody celebrated or whatever. It was crazy. So, yeah. So there you go.
Dope history, man. Like living history, man. Like in the future, I want all the shorties to be able to make sure they know this history. That's why I'm glad you're on here, man. So, big up.
Appreciate you.
Big up. DJ Kool, ladies and gentlemen. Music City, DC. 1.
Let me clear my throat.